Hello there, vinyl community. I'm back here with another video after taking a break. I've been very busy, but I have gotten a lot of finds. I'm going to get right in this, and then I'm going to have a few things to say at the end of the video. I do have a lot of records to show for this one, so I'm going to get started now. The first thing I'm going to show are sealed albums I got that I think are from the same collection. They're all original vintage ones. This is an original 68 copy of the Who Sell Out, still sealed. Very nice white cover. An original, I believe 75 or 76 maybe, copy of Led Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti, still sealed with hype sticker. Same with the Who. And this one doesn't have a hype sticker, and it does have a little bit of a tear in the shrink, but it is still sealed. Soundtrack to the film Jimi Hendrix, still sealed. Just amazing. So I was really glad to get those because I got all those at a really good price. And normally I like to organize my videos when I put them, like, have the same records from the same hauls, but I've been very busy, so I just kind of have them, I guess you could say, thrown about in different little piles. So I'm going to get started now. This is an online purchase. The first and only album by the Orange Alabaster Mushroom. It's actually a compilation album. And this came out in 2000. These guys are really good if you haven't listened to them, this one's been high on my want list for a long time. Yeah, it's been very hard to find. This album is so hard to come by. Even CD copies I see sell for like $40. I got a really good deal on this one, though. This was only pressed in the UK, and they just reissued this album for the first time this year, but that's on colored vinyl. Mine's an original, because the reissues are on colored vinyl. Let me put that sleeve to the side. Sometimes I have to fight with the resealable sleeves. Pardon me. This is the next one right here. This came from a record store really cheap. I think it was like $4 because it had tape around the corners, which I took off, so now it looks presentable because it was this thick white tape that I took all the glue off of it, so came out looking nice. Miles Davis, around about midnight. Really not bad for $4. It has the original inner sleeve, which is seen better days, but it still holds the disc. Disc is VG, maybe good plus on side 1 and VG to VG plus on side 2. It still sounds really good though. It still plays well and sounds great. So I was just stoked to get it. Ooh. Here's an original copy of this. I've been wanting this for a while. This was from Dollar Bin. Eric Burdon Declares War. It sounds great. Disc is kind of beat, but the cover is pretty okay. Has 2 hype stickers on there. And here's the disc. I was really glad to find this in a Dollar Bin because the only other copy I have of this skips a lot because it's really beat up, and it's like a Venezuelan copy that I actually forgot where I got it from. This is from a thrift store. It's an original Blue Note pressing of Duke Pearson. Now hear this. Really cool because there's going to be other ones from the same thrift store haul in the video, and I had a really solid thrift store haul. It has like just kind of spoiling it, I guess. I found like some more Blue Note, Captain Beefheart, John Baldry had found some good stuff at the thrift store. An original Blue Note. I mean, how often do you find original Blue Note stuff at thrift stores? That's kind of self-explanatory. So I was really stoked to find this. And yeah, you didn't have to pay an arm and a leg either. This is another thrift store purchase. This is an album I wanted for a long time. Long time. And I haven't been able to find for cheap. This one was $8 and it's a record club pressing. I got the debut album by Kiss. This is such a stellar album. Give me one moment. I'm trying to... Maybe the lighting... Yeah, that definitely made the lighting a little better. Kiss's first album. I've wanted this for a while. It's such an awesome album. You got Cold Gin, Strutter, Black Diamond. It's just an incredible album all the way through, and not one that I see very often at all. This one is a reissue. This is another one I got from the record store, and it was pretty affordable if I remember right. And I had seen this every single time I got to the record store. It's just the cover kind of fascinated me. I listened to the music. The music's kind of interesting, very interesting, kind of outsider. So I picked it up. It's a reissue out of 600. You Think You Really Know Me by Gary Wilson. Kind of interesting one. It has a download card inside and a black poly-lined inner sleeve. I just thought this was pretty cool to find. The original of this, they only made, I believe, like 600 of, so it's very hard to come by the original pressing of this. So, I'll be on the lookout for one of those, but I don't think I'll find one for cheap anytime soon. I picked this up, too, brand new. Hitchhiker, Neil Young. This has a poster inside. It's kind of boring. I don't think I'm going to take it out. It just shows a letter in the sand with lyrics on it. Here's the disc, not a poly-lined inner sleeve or anything. Very good session. You know, really good album. I really enjoyed it. And, yeah, just a cool one to grab. This, another record store purchase. This was like 10 bucks, I believe, and it's an original copy. Fresh Cream. It's a pretty clean playing copy. It sounds great. And, on Atco. You know, I'm just really glad to have it. This is a great Cream album. Very early stuff of theirs. So, very enjoyable. I found this, too. This was, I believe, like 10 or 15 bucks. And it's an original copy. I've only had like a reissue from '73 for the longest. So now I finally have a 1969 original of In the Court of the Crimson King. Great album all the way through. This album deserves the status it gets. It really is one of the greatest albums ever made. It's such an awesome prog album. And in one of my videos, I think like my Desert Island kind of records, like 10 albums that, you know, every record collector should know, and I put this in it because it's just a great album all the way through. And it's legendary, man. Got Live If You Want It by the Rolling Stones. This is like 4 bucks. It's mono. Disc is really nice on it, though. I do have to say that. The disc is beautiful. It's near mint. Has the original inner. And not going to complain for that price. Pretty nice copy. This was $1, and I was thinking of Chris over at Dixieland Farm when I got this, because it's in quad. Best of the Doors. Dollar bin copy. It sounds pretty good. Inner sleeve is pretty interesting, explaining the whole quad process. And disc is pretty nice too, on Elektra. This is a pretty cool one to find. The next one I was totally shocked to find. This one right here. I'm assuming it's not one you see very often. It's original Canadian pressing of The Big Soul of John Lee Hooker. This came out in 1963. I got this for very cheap, like very cheap, and it's an original VJ. And the reason why it was very cheap is the original owner felt the urge to write his name all across the back, very largely. Original Canadian pressing on VJ Records, John Lee Hooker. Not one you find very often. Very, very nice. This next one's pretty interesting. It's in the shrink wrap, but it's kind of weird how the shrink wrap is. It's the Rolling Stones, High Tide and Green Grass. Shrink wrap copy with the booklet, but it's not shrink wrapped like this. It has shrink wrap in the gate too, so you can open it, but you can't flick through the booklet. It just opens up. So the booklet's never really been looked through. It truly is a near mint copy. Like the disc looks like it's barely been touched. The inner sleeve, you know, kind of crumpled and stuff, but you know, you can't complain for an original shrink wrap copy. You know, how often do you find this album this clean in the shrink? Crazy. This was $1 bin, and I was glad to find this because it's a stellar album. I had never really listened to this group beforehand. They're a group that I had heard of but never really listened to. Blues Project, Projections, and God, is this a great album. If you guys don't have it, you know, try to seek out a copy. It's very, very, very good stuff, you know. Psych Blues. That's the best way you can put it. Psych Blues. It's stellar all the way through, and I highly recommend this album. Can't wait to listen to more of these guys' catalog. John Baldry, this is another one of the Thrift store ones I was talking about. It Ain't Easy. Co-produced by Rod Stewart and Elton John. This original copy on Warner Brothers. Long John Baldry, of course, famous English blues musician. Just a cool one to have. This one came from online. This was $10 shipped. Guitar on the Go, Wes Montgomery. This is a Japanese issue. Has the obi strip, has the lyric sheet, and the disc on it is like near mint. It's just great. I love Wes Montgomery's guitar work. He's a stellar jazz guitarist. I've really been getting into him recently, and what an album to start with, because I got this album, and then, again, I'm going to spoil some more of my finds. I went to the thrift store, the really good haul, and found a bunch of Wes Montgomery, so I was very glad with this. This is an album I've had a reissue of, but the original I had of this is warped, so I can't play it. So I'm glad to finally have a copy. Harvest by Neil Young, with the poster, just awesome album. Yeah, this is one of those albums that I say everyone should have in their collection. Has the insert. Disc is nice, sounds great. And this album, I think it won Album of the Year in '72, and it's just, it deserves it, you know. If you guys haven't listened to Harvest all the way through, you're missing out. UK original pressing of Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield. I don't know what it is about these UK pressings. They smell really good, though. You know, it's a really weird thing to point out, I know, but I just love the smell of UK pressings. It's so weird. Hopefully I'm not the only one that's noticed that. White Vertigo, original UK. This was like $8 also. You know, I discovered a new record store I've been going to a lot recently. That's like 25 miles from me, but they're just great. They have a bunch of great stuff. I got this from there too for like $10. Metal by Pink Floyd. This is one I seeked out for a long time. Finally have an original copy of Metal with a really nice disc. Original on Harvest. You know, this album has just a bunch of really long songs on it, but Echoes is just my favorite song off of here. A lot of people agree with that. You know, some people go Mo for like One of These Days, but more of an Echoes. Pardon me. Captain Beefheart and the Spotlight Kid. This is from the not from the record store. This is from the thrift store. This is, I mean, how often do you find Captain Beefheart stuff at a thrift store? You know, so I was absolutely shocked to find this, but I will gladly take it. And it has the lyric insert as well. And you know it's a good trip at the record store when you're coming back with these two people. You know, you got Captain Beefheart, which I'm putting away right now, and this next one, Donald Byrd, another thrift store find. This is an 80s reissue on Blue Note. I really wish it was an original, but you know, it's still really interesting to have the original, not the original, but an 80s reissue. It still sounds great. This is Jazz with Voices, and it's really good, you know. So if I found an original of this, I would definitely get it. Another thrift store, Al Stewart, Year of the Cat. Never owned this album, actually. I just feel like this is one that everyone has, you know. But I've never owned this one, so I'll gladly take a 59-cent copy. Sounds pretty good. This is an upgrade for me. This is in the shrink, and has a lot of hype stickers on it. The cleanest copy I've ever seen. Boston's first album. Really nice, original on Epic. Disc looks unplayed. Really just great to have. West Montgomery down here on the ground, another thrift store one. This is on A&M. This is before they did their own CTI label. This just kind of has a CTI imprint on it. But later on, CTI became its own label. Trying to put this away. Young Holt Limited, Mellow Dreamin'. This is kind of like a funk soul. Another thrift store one on Cotillion. So when you see something on Cotillion, you know instantly just, you know, kind of grab it because it's going to be interesting. Another thrift store, West Montgomery, Willow Wheat for me. This one had water damage towards the bottom. I'm not sure how well it'll come through. Just very, very mild. And the sticker is very strong, so I can't take off the sticker. Original on the Black Verve label. Booker T and the MGs, the Booker T set with a interesting foil cover. This is an original on Stax. I don't know why I grabbed this next one. I grabbed it just because it looks sort of interesting. I honestly haven't listened to it yet, but you know, I just thought it was kind of interesting, so I grabbed it. Thrift store, Working Out, Barney Kessel Quartet. On Contemporary Records. You know, I was expecting some kind of guitar jazz sort of stuff, so I'll see it. Jean-Luc Ponty, live, another thrift store one. Ooh. Original inner sleeve. And, yeah, really cool one to find. This is another record store one right here, and this is a real cool one to find in the shrink. It's a really clean copy. Super Session original copy in the shrink. This is actually a 70 pressing, or 71 maybe, because it's not on the 6i Columbia. It's on the just red and yellow, so it's earlier 70s. And I like the Stephen Stills side a little bit more than the Mike Bloomfield side, but it's still really good album all the way through. This is another thrift store one. This one's also still sealed. This is the Buddy Rich Band. Yeah, I had some great jazz scores at the thrift store last month. This one I'm gonna take out of this sort of right here. I see this get shown occasionally on the VC, but I don't see it very often. This is an original promo copy of the Rugby's Hot Cargo. Really interesting Psych album, really good. These kids were young, and I believe they're from Georgia. Maybe I might be wrong, but this is a very heavy disc, and very cool to have as a white label promo. Rare Bird, somebody's watching. This is the dollar bin copy. This is on Polydor, by the way. This is a really awesome album, too. Like, this is the first Rare Bird album I have. There's going to be another one in the video that I also got. And this is a great album all the way through. I highly recommend checking it out. Free, Fire and Water. This was on my want list for a while. This is the original on A&M. And I didn't have... Wait, actually, I do have some Free in my collection. I have a live album, so... I was just about to say, and this is my first Free album, but I remembered they do have some Free. This is a massive upgrade for me. Hendrix, Band of Gypsies. Really nice cover, considering how dark it is. You know, not a lot of ringwear. And this is an original copy on the green Capital Target label. Pretty nice copy. This was $1 also. Another record store one, Idea by the Bee Gees, UK pressing. Different cover art than the US counterpart. Polydor. Great one to have. Felt like it's a pretty good album. I'm starting to really like the earlier Bee Gees stuff. Genesis Live, another UK original pressing on Charisma. Another record store one. So very seldomly do I show bootlegs on here because I'm not able to find them. But, you know, I kind of came through for you guys. In Again, Out Again, Rolling Stones live in 1978. You can see the track listing on there. And pretty cool bootleg, pretty good sound quality as well on Oakland Records. You know, pretty cool one to have as a boot, so I grabbed it. It was pretty affordable, I think like 10 or 15 bucks. I was really glad to find this one. This was right around the same price range, and it's a pretty clean copy of the Ramones' Road to Ruin. It's an original copy, and it looks just great condition. It looks like it's barely been played. You know, just a stellar copy. This is a thrift store find, the Sunshine Company. Original in the shrink. Nice kind of bubblegum, very lighter sort of Psych, more along the bubblegum edge, but there is some sort of songs that... I'm trying to remember what song it is. What was it? I think it's Love, That's Where It Is, that had some sort of heavy fuzz guitar on it as a solo. Cool one to have. Dire Straits, this was another dollar bin record. This is their first album, I believe. And the cover on this was really dirty when I got it. I tried to clean it up the best I could. But, yeah, you know, these white covers get dirty very easily. This is pretty cool. This was like $5. It's a Taiwanese pressing of the Moody Blues in Search of the Lost Chord. I actually bought tickets to see the Moody Blues in January. This is a Taiwanese pressing. And actually, according to this, this album is not called In Search of the Lost Chord. It's called In Search of the Lost Chord. Really kind of funny mistake. You know, these Taiwanese ones always have a lot of spelling errors. Really cool one to have with the baggy sort of cover. This is a UK second pressing of this, but it's really cool just to have a UK pressing of it. Different coloring at the bottom, James Taylor's first album. This is a UK pressing. Really, really nice. Has the original Apple inner sleeve. And this is beautiful on it with the dark Apple label. Really just a nice one to have. And, you know, who doesn't like James Taylor? James Taylor's kind of like One of those people kind of like Kiss that no one doesn't like, you know? Everyone likes James Taylor. Animals by Pink Floyd. This is a promo copy. Really nice one to have. And it's I used to not really listen to this album. I just forgot to show the inner sleeve and stuff. But I had never really listened to this album until I got it, because I had a copy like 5 years ago that I gave to a friend. I never really listened to it. So I picked up this copy, listened to it, and it's a great album. I absolutely love it. And I could see why it gets the recognition it deserves it. I'm going to grab another pile after this, but this was a great one to find. An original mono pressing of The Doors' Strange Days. Has the original Elektra inner sleeve. And really clean disc as well. So I'm going to go and grab some more records real quick. Here's the first Sugarloaf album. This has Green Eyed Lady on it. Kind of funny gatefold that they chose to take their picture in an alley. You know, really clean original on Liberty. Inner sleeve is pretty crinkled up though. It looks brand new too. Like, you can tell it's a newer sleeve, but it's just really crinkled up. This was a thrift store find. Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair. Has some kind of damage on the back cover, but the disc is really nice, so I got it anyway. Sue Ann, who owned this before me, wrote her name on the label, so why do you have to do that, Sue? Why do you have to do that? These next two are really cool finds, and I had to trade in a lot to get the in-store credit for this. This original Caravan, if I could do it all over again, I'd do it all over you. US pressing. Great Psych, progressive Psych. And it's very hard to find original Caravan stuff, and when you do find it, it tends to be a bit pricey. These both were very good prices, I should say. Caravan and the Land of Grey Pink, another one. This is their second album, their third album. Their first album came out like '68, so this is their third album. And original London pressing. This is a clear vinyl reissue from Rocktober from Rhino of Deep Purple Machine Head. Clear vinyl. It replicates the poster, which I've never seen an original poster with one of these. Replicates that. And it is on clear vinyl. It's kind of like a foggy sort of clear. You know, not really that clear, but you know, generally I associate with clear vinyl with like crystal clear, like really clear, but you know, that's more of a foggy sort of color, like the McCartney Say 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 record store day, if you guys remember when that came out. That's sort of like that. Diana Ross and the Supremes, Cream of the Crop, and the Shrink. This is the dollar bin, so I grabbed it. Look at how crisp this inner sleeve is. It is just no splits, no damage to it whatsoever. Original Motown, real clean. This is the original Errol Gardner on Crown. Been listening to a lot of this man. White Crown label. For some reason I didn't put an inner sleeve in there. Probably get around to that. Dreamy by Sarah Vaughan. Thrift store find. Don't have any Sarah Vaughan in my collection. I love her voice. She has a wonderful voice. Great jazz singer. White Roulette label. This is a one from the dollar bin as well. New World of Leonard Nimoy. Of course, Spock from Star Trek. And the disc on it's beautiful, near mint. Really cool one to have, Leonard Nimoy. Morning Symphony Ideas by Jimi Hendrix. This was a record store day issue like a few years ago, I believe. And this is on yellow vinyl. And it has an insert. Mountain, Leslie West. This is Leslie West's solo album under the name Mountain. It kind of is like the debut album for Mountain, but not really. Kind of weird. But it's a really good album, too. I got this from the Dollar Bin. I really recommend it. It's a stellar album. Shutdown Volume 2 by the Beach Boys. Original Capitol issue. This is one of the only Beach Boys albums that I'm missing from my 60s collection. The Critters' Younger Girl. I've been looking for this album forever, okay? I've really wanted a copy of this, and I found this at the thrift store. I was really glad to find it. An original cat pressing of this. You know, of course, this has Younger Girl and Mr. Dyingly Sad on it. Just a great album all the way through. This is, I believe, maybe a pressing from Spain of Manfred Mann. It's kind of like a compilation album. It's on Philips, and it's really clean. Second Winter by Johnny Winter. This is an original copy, and it's a 3-sided record. The side 4 is just blank, and it's a great album all the way through. Definitely grab this one if you see it. They're just tearing it up on this album. It's a great 2-album set. 3 sides. Crazy. Here's the Cufflinks. These are the guys that did that one song, Tracy. This is their second album. That's when they're trying to, you know, kind of top that, but they didn't really get a hit off this album, I believe. This is from the thrift store as well. This is West Bridges. This is Bridges by West. I listened to this, but I don't remember how it was. I remember it not being very psyche, being more rocky. But still a cool one to have. This was a thrift store, so it was pretty cheap. This right here is an original pressing of Nirvana, MTV Unplugged with the textured cover. David Geffen Company. Really cool one to have. It was really, you know, I don't like Nirvana that much. I think they're pretty okay, but if I'll find the stuff for cheap and it's original, I'll grab it. This is a mispressing of sorts of original U.S. pressing of Dark Side of the Moon. You know, just typical U.S. pressing, no posters, inserts, anything. Disc plays nice, but both labels have side 2 labels. So, you know, I didn't notice that when I bought it. I actually played this album like 2 or 3 times before I even realized it, to be honest. I guess I'm just kind of slow to catch on to it, because when I noticed it, I'm like, I could have sworn this side just said it had money on it, but then this side said it had money on it. So, yeah. Age of Aquarius, 5th Dimension. This is a thrift store find. I grabbed it because it's really clean. Original Soul City release. This is Tom Jones and the Shrink, original Parrot. The Very Best of Hank Williams, original MGM. Isaac Hayes, Hot Buttered Soul. Shutdown Volume 2 by various artists, but mostly the Beach Boys. This is Volume 1, actually. I have showed Volume 2, if I'm not mistaken. Moody Blues, 7th Sojourn. Has the original inner sleeve. Say Siegel Schwal by the Siegel Schwal Band. Original Vanguard. Original copy of Rare Bird's first album. US pressing. With a different album cover than the UK one. And this one is on Probe, I believe. Yep, ABC Probe. Original white label promo copy of Joni Mitchell, Ladies of the Canyon. Cool one to have as a white label promo. Has the original inner sleeve. A white vinyl pressing of the Blues Pills album, Lady in Gold. I believe this is their latest album. And let me take it out and show you the white vinyl. This is the inner sleeve. White and gold printing. on white vinyl. This is the second Beacon Street Union album. This is an upgrade for me, The Eyes of the Beacon Street Union. And really clean original copy. This is just a great album. Has plenty of great tracks on it. I recommend you check it out. The songs Mystic Morning and Green Destroys the Gold, Blue Avenue, just great. Pearl by Janis Joplin, original Columbia. This is a album by a group called Silverhead. It's a promo copy. They're kind of like a glam group. I listen to them, kind of a glam rock. And I'm going to end off this video strong with an original copy of The Idiot by Iggy Pop, original RCA pressing. Pretty clean copy. I got this for $10 from the flea market, which is a great price considering its condition, you know. Really clean copy. So I'd like to end off this video now with some singles and 8-tracks that I have gotten. So I'm going to start with this one. You're Gonna Miss Me by the 13th Floor Elevators, original international artists. Really cool find. I got this one for $10, which is really cheap. It's good plus, a VG minus. I'd say it plays great, but it has scratches on it and writing on the label. I got a bunch of Beatles picture sleeves because I've been trying to kind of condense down what I need. And so I made a big dent in the picture sleeve collection. A Hard Day's Night. All these are originals. Help with I'm Down. Some of these I haven't made the sleeves for yet. This one is really clean. Paperback Writer in Rain. It has writing on the label. Other than that, it's really nice. This is one of my favorite Beatles picture sleeves, too. I just love the layout on it, to be honest. This one's West Coast pressing. It's kind of messed up, but I got it for really cheap. All You Need Is Love and Baby You're a Rich Man. You see the sleeve is very crinkled. Let It Be with You Know My Name, Look Up the Number. Please Please Me, Back with From Me to You. It has a sticker on the label right here. And these 45s were cheap, so I grabbed them. And Scott McKenzie, San Francisco, Be Sure to Wear Flowers in Your Hair. And these are my 8 tracks I got. I got Rush, Hemispheres. City to City by Jerry Rafferty. Really early one, A Birthday by The Association. Thick as a Brick by Jethro Tull. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. And Ted Nugent's self-titled album. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of these finds, and I'll be sure to be putting out stuff more often.